this same day. Um, so let's get into what we saw today. I took a win. Um, yeah, I took a win. I did get stopped in profit, I should say, but it was a winner. I'll go over what I saw, my logic behind it, and everything. Right. So on the higher time frame, on the daily, we are bullish. Um, Obviously, we want to see price trade. We wanted to see this is yesterday. We wanted to see price trade into this new week opening gap. But if you look on ES, this is way cleaner. But we come down, rebalance a fair value gap, um, get a change in the state, and then you come down and rebalance a fair value gap, and now you expect your next draw to be higher. These highs here, this high here, these are equal highs here, these relative equal highs. So going into the day, um, you want to be careful. Let me get my pre-market plan. Yeah, going into the day, you want to be careful with anything you do because you're like, all right, I know the higher time frame draw. I'll show you guys. This is my pre-market plan. Not a low probability day. I was bearish. My draw liquidity was previous day low. I wrote this at 9:15. Um, you guys can kind of read it. London swept previous day high, creating an internal SMT. While we already had an external SMT at the new week opening gap, um, these were too many bearish confluences for me to ignore it with the higher time frame. Um, and like I said here, if we are bullish because the higher time frame is bullish, I want to see us displace and disrespect the internal SMT. Um, the internal SMT really would have gave. I wasn't worried about this external SMT because I know that the new week opening gap was the draw. Like we will eventually hit it, but I want to see us displace through that internal SMT. So let's see what happens. Let's go on a 5 minute. So what happened here? 9:30. Like I said, we had this SMT here. This is the external SMT. Let me get rid of. This is a 4-hour high. We kept sweeping highs, but there was internal SMT here. Oh yeah, here, and there, and then this is the external one here at the new week opening gap that I had marked out. But so I had those two confluences stacked on each other. So I guess you can kind of say I had a neutral bias going into the day, but I was leaning more bearish. So I wanted to see what we did. 9:30 opens. Not much really happens, so I know I have to wait. I was expecting 9:30 to be some type of manipulation move, but we didn't get that, so I know I'm waiting. Once I don't see anything at 9:30, I'm really waiting for the macro at 9:50. But we come up and take this high, right? It's why analyzing each time frame is important. You see it here. This is a candle closure above this high, and somebody might be like, "Oh, I'm bullish," but on a 15-minute, this is a really aggressive wick. This tells me that we want to go lower because we never violate the S&T. We get close to doing it, but we never fully violate it, right? So I come down on a 1 minute. It's also, I should say, that here, once we do this here, we sweep the high, um, have an inversion fair value gap, and then come lower. This is our model in a higher time frame, right? So when you're looking for entries, you necessarily don't need to see the model again because it already exists on the higher time frame, right? Now you just need a logical entry. So when I come on M1, I see this fair value gap holding up, right? I'm not expecting us to retrace back into this here, like, because the next place we're going to go is probably here, this fair value gap, or test this inverse. I'm not expecting that to happen because of the way we aggressively swept this high. But again, you don't know. You just play and react to what price action gives you, right? So I mark out this fair value gap, which is also a 5 minute fair value gap as well that was created. And I marked out consequent encroachment because I wanted to see some type of SMT here. We didn't get that SMT, but we really respected, like as you can see, we respected 50% very well. So once I saw we were respecting 50% of this fair value gap, I entered on this candle here, I believe, uh, with my stop, above the closure of the fair value gap, above the high of the fair value gap here. My stop was here. Um, I was in this trade, and I was expecting a turtle soup, possibly at this high, right? So that's why my stop was here. Once we came down here, and then we displaced down here, I put my stop at this high here. So then we came into this fair value gap. Well, we inversed this, right? Which was great. We inversed this here. And then we came into this fair value gap. At this point, when we came into this fair value gap, my stop is at break even. So once we disrespected this fair value gap down here, I took full profits. I actually took one off here as well. I forgot to say, because ES took it the equal lows. So I took one off here, and then I took the other one off here. I could have held this trade longer. I think my stop being here was should have been respected. My target was previous day low, but I had this deviation level marked out, and I wanted to see how price reacted in 2 to 2.5 deviations. As you guys can see, it's down here. We pretty much respect it pretty hard. It's very rare I use deviations, so that's interesting that we respect it. But yeah, I wanted to see price hold previous day low or go down to previous day low. But once I took my cons off here, I was still watching the market because I wanted to see what we did. All we did was come into this fair value gap here, and as you can see in premium of this range, small range here, and we turtle soup this high, and then we get this candle closure below these up close candles, and we get an order block here. We respect 50% of it, as you guys can see. And then in the macro, we come and we dump down to the deviations. I actually screen recorded this. I'll post this later about the power of the macro. I screen recorded this whole thing happening with like annotated notes and everything. And I'll post it probably tomorrow just to show the power of the macro, how powerful the macro can be. But yeah, we ended up respecting 2 to 2.5 deviations, and that's really all what happened. I was out here though, but I could have held down to here, but I didn't. It happens. I'll journal it on how to be better, but overall, a great day. Once we come in here, we respect this deviation and we trade higher into the new week opening gap. We are now currently within the new week opening gap. As you guys know, I'm expecting price to trade higher now, but I'll see what we do tomorrow. I'll even see if I will be in the market tomorrow. It's a little late for me. I don't want to have a bad performance in the market, but overall, this trade kind of wiped away last week's loser, so that's great. And I'm actually in profit for the month, so that's even better. But overall, that's a trade. Thank you.